Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Team Zoom. It's another Thursday evening, and we are jumping in as a team to just go over stuff. I've got some things to share with you guys. Excuse me if I'm a little sniffly today. Me and my kids are getting over a cold, so super fun. Anyway, we are going to jump into some info. So I was really excited because we were going to have our Team Fire Spark Call. You guys know Team Fire is our bigger diamond team that we keep up with, and we get a lot of information from them. And they had their Spark Call, and she was talking about how great it was, and she totally forgot to record it on Zoom. So we don't have that to watch tonight. She said they're going to do it again tomorrow, and they are going to record it tomorrow. So we'll be able to watch it next time. But I was like, oh no, because I was looking forward to watching that with you guys. But that's okay. I've got some stuff to share with you. So I just wanted to start off today's Team Zoom with sharing with you guys a testimony. So I'm going to read it to you. And this is Mandy Brummels. She's an Emerald Ambassador. And this is her story. When I learned about Plexus, I was newly divorced, living in one of the most expensive cities, living alone for the first time, and was completely broke. I was looking for a second job on top of my full-time corporate job, and I had borrowed $10,000 from my retirement just to fill the gaps each month. I had seen the Plexus comp plan and thought it was incredible, but felt that there was no way I could make money with Plexus. I was living like a hermit, introverted, scared, and without local friends outside of colleagues. I told myself I was not the kind of girl that could be successful with this business model. But after 8 months of procrastinating and being prideful, I decided to tiptoe in. I tried the Slim as a customer for a few days, and I could tell a difference. I felt better already. I joined as an ambassador for the best deal, and I grabbed a combo. My sugar cravings disappeared, and I had more energy. I started sharing my experience on Facebook and learned a lot of people struggle with these same things. I started helping a few friends. I was floored when I got my paycheck and I saw that my products were paid for. Let's see here. I lost my place. Hold on just a second. My products were paid for. I then prayed to make $350 a month to cover my student loan payment, because then I wouldn't need to get a part-time job. God answered that prayer quickly. Less than 2 years later, I was making 10 times what I prayed each month. During this time, my anxiety lessened so much that I stopped using food and my secret smoking addiction to cope. I quit smoking cold turkey without gaining weight. I had less allergies, less pain, less bloating and puffiness. I felt great. For the first time in my adult life, I wasn't letting fear rule my decisions, and I was a part of the most amazing community. I kept being promoted in my corporate job and was preparing to move into a management role. It was an incredible job. I had the best team and boss. I could have stayed with that company for decades, but I knew that job could never provide time freedom. I was missing precious time with my family. After losing my sister to cancer, she was in Alaska and I was in Washington. I knew I never, ever wanted to have to choose a job over being with my loved ones. I was determined to create a residual income that would support me while allowing me to choose how I spent my time and who I spent it with. I wanted that time freedom. 2.5 years after joining Plexus, I left my job and Seattle. I moved to the Midwest and got married. And last year, I reached the 3rd highest leadership position with Plexus. I now have the flexibility to homeschool during COVID, go on road trips, visit family, and volunteer in my community. Never, ever did I see this happening when I joined 5 years ago. But I am so glad I took a chance and stuck with it. God has used these products to change my health, being incredible, being in incredible relationships into my life, change my financial situation, and make me a better human in so many ways. Plexus has absolutely changed my life and my entire future. I love stories like this. I love the reminder that we join for all kinds of different reasons. And you guys, this is our passion, right? This is our passion because you never know if this is what people have been praying for. Is this the opportunity they've been looking for? Are they the ones that are the skeptics that are like, I could never make money with that business model. I could never be that girl. But what if this is that nudge that God is giving them, that this is for you? This is it. I'm going to teach you so much through this. And guys, I'm just going to share with you, I'm going to be a little vulnerable here. I noticed this past year that my business kind of got stuck and it hasn't been growing the way I wanted it to. And I knew that if my business is stuck, then I need to look at what I need to learn. I kept hearing this from other leaders. What do I need to learn in order for my business to grow? I need to work on me. I need to work on my mindset. What's up with me? And God has shown me that I was being very selfish in my mindset, that I was thinking I could do this by myself. And I was thinking mainly about myself. And God has done a work in me to change my mindset and help me focus in on how I can serve others, how I can serve my customers, how I can serve my ambassadors that are wanting to grow and expand their business, how I can serve the community, and who out there is waiting on this. Like, I've kind of gotten out of my own way. I was in my own way, and I've kind of gotten out of my own way, and I don't care anymore about what other people think, because presenting this opportunity and presenting these products could be life-changing. And they might say no. Guys, hear me on this. They might say no, but that is 9 times out of 10. What it means is not right now. The timing is off. But you've got to plant those seeds. You've got to ask those questions. You've got to develop those relationships, because it's probably not right now. And
hey, Iris.
Yes.
Well, okay, this is Elisa. I don't know you, Rhonda, but hi, Elise. I'm Elisa. And I'm finding it very hard to want to present it to people, because as I explained to you, like in Messenger before, that as myself, presenting as myself, I don't have like any like physical proof yet visibly that it has made a difference in my life, other than telling them like internally, like with my gut and sweet tooth gone away. I like the way my body looks now and the way I still walk and my joints affect me still. I have no like physical proof to show to people that this actually is slowly working for me.
Right. Elisa, how long have you been on the products?
Let's see. I want to say I've been looking into it for like over a year, and over 2 years now, talking with Mitzi Williams.
Yeah.
But because of surgeries getting in the way, I didn't want to jump on. So I would say I'm probably about, I want to say only been in it actively about 5 months.
Okay. So you would say you've been consistent for 5 months?
I've been consistent with certain products religiously every day for about 5 to 6 months.
Okay. So in 5 to 6 months of being consistent on this product, you're seeing your sweet tooth go away and you can feel a difference inside?
Yes, like my gut issues aren't nearly as frequent or as bad. I am a person who my sweet tooth was really awful. Um, I have noticed a difference in like positively like skin color and nail growth also, but like the weight loss hasn't really happened yet for me. It like fluctuates
Sure.
still. And my body aches and pains, like my brain fog, my fatigue by the end of the workday are still very much present.
Gotcha. So how long would you say you've had a sweet tooth in your life?
I would say ever since I was a little girl. I
Okay.
mean, it's always been there.
So I think that this is huge. I think your testimony is amazing because you're seeing a difference in something that has you have struggled with your entire life, and you're seeing a difference in 5 to 6 months. Like when people start in January to go to the gym, right? And they're
Uh-huh.
like, I'm gonna do this thing. And by March, they're like, forget it.
Hmm.
And they don't stick with it because they're not seeing results. And they've only been going for 3 months, and their weight issues have been something they've been dealing with for 30 years.
Hmm.
But you are noticing a difference on your inside. Like you can feel it working. And that's huge because it didn't take you 5 to 6 months to get to the point that you're at health wise, right?
Correct.
Right. So but you're seeing a difference already. And girl, I totally get you. And family and friends that have been family and friends your whole life are the hardest to convince because they know you. And there's
So
not,
maybe I should venture in a different avenue then,
yes.
opposed
And
to closest people.
here's the other thing, though, that I really want to encourage you with.
Okay.
Um, Family and friends are great for third party conversations. And I think I already mentioned this to you. But the reason they're great for third party conversations is because it's not you talking, it's somebody else sharing. So if you wanted to use me or if you wanted to use Mitzi, and we come in and just share our testimony or share about what the products are doing, for a family or friend that's in your life, if they're willing to listen, that's just a seed planted. And what I look at with family and friends is I plant the seeds and I water gently, but I mainly focus in other directions. And they just continue to watch, and they watch and they watch. And then they finally go, okay, you stuck with it. Now I want to check it out.
Okay. Because I know like Mitzi has really encouraged me. There's a couple times we met in public and she said, well, look at you. You've had two surgeries and look at you a year later, you're back to full-time work and you're walking without your cane already. I think that's pretty amazing. So she like already sees more than what
Yes,
I see.
absolutely. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. And just sharing our story is part of helping us figure out what are we missing, because we see ourselves all the time. And when other people come in, oh, I just love that. I love that Mitzi's been encouraging you that way, because that is exactly it. It sounds like you are definitely on this beautiful health journey that is already evident in so many other ways to other people.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited for you. If you are interested in really pursuing this, I have actually just developed my curious builders. That's what I call them. People who are curious about building but don't really know how. I have created my system, and basically I send you several messages over the next 7 to 10 days for you to check things out. And it guides you through kind of getting started with how to really build your business. And if you'd like to be added to that, I will add you to it.
Please do. And please feel free that to not feel bad about nagging me. Cause I mean, like I said, I do work a full-time job and another part-time job. I'm not getting any younger, but I just um there are certain things I would say I'm still skeptical about it, about Plexus, but I don't want when I'm presenting, I don't want other people to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just because of the weight factor and the joint factor.
Yes, and I totally get that. I am going to share a specific gal's emerald story with you. She is, let's see, it was 2019 because it was the last convention we were able to go to in person. It was the 2019 convention. My husband and I went. It was in Vegas, and this gal stood on stage. She's probably still 90 pounds overweight, but she had such an amazing journey on the inside, and she hit emerald. And that girl's story, the entire auditorium erupted because her last thing was throw your scale away and look at your quality of life. And it's just this journey. We never know what our body is balancing out on the inside. And that's why I'm always telling people, I'm like, man, you got to balance your body on the inside and the weight will come. Give it time. But this girl hit emerald and she's still like, I'm not the like model for weight loss, but she's like, man, I can tell you my depression is gone and my anxiety is gone and my skin issues are gone, And so I'll send that to you because I know that that is a hard mental hurdle to step over.
Yeah, because I used to be, prior to having kids and prior to actually like my main surgeries, I was an avid person who went to the gym, to the Alaska Club almost every single day before work and worked out for like a solid hour and a half. So even though my body's not where it was joint wise before, but I have this in my mind that if I did it before, I know I can do some of it again. And I'd say probably still about, for the ideal weight for my height, I'm probably about 65 pounds overweight.
Okay. Okay.
And with my surgeries 1 year ago, actually, the end of August made a year.
Okay.
So it was during Hunker Down that I had my 2 surgeries. And I'd say I probably over the past year, actually even like the 3 months down before I was even able to start physical therapy, I probably gained 30 pounds.
Gotcha.
Over my surgery, which was, a year ago.
So it sounds like you've had a lot of hits where you're like, and feeling very stuck.
Yeah. It came down to necessary surgery because of like cysts and bones going in the wrong place. And then it was nerve pain that got so bad I could barely put a shoe on in the morning. And me and my boss both, we were like, that's it. Nope. No getting it out of it anymore.
Yeah. It was time. Well, I am really encouraged and excited for your story. I mean, I have friends who did not see a difference with plexus for 6 or 7 or 9 months. I'll tell you my mom's story. She, just real briefly, I know we need to dive into some other stuff, but she had thyroid issues for 30 years, and she was on Synthroid and all kinds of different stuff. And so when I approached her about taking it, I was really cautious. And so but I was desperate too. And I said, please try it for 6 months. Just try it for 6 months. If you don't see any difference, I won't bug you about it again. And so she did. She tried it for 6 months. And at 6 months, she was like, I mean, I can see a difference. I'm willing to stay on it. At 9 months, she went in for an appointment and got her blood work done, and it was normal. And at 12,
Whoa.
yeah. And at 12 months, she was like, I love how I feel. Okay. So this was a year.
My 21-year-old daughter, she she has Hashimoto's.
Yes. Okay.
Excuse me. Tia, can you give me some water? Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah. So your daughter with Hashimoto's, this could be huge for her.
Yeah. And I'm already, I mean, I don't mean to say it in a negative way, but monthly, I'm spending quite a bit on my products already,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, I can do this, then cause like I'm going to cut back on groceries in areas where, foods that are bad for me and stuff like that. But now that I've started adding in Nerve and Ease, like, I'm like, whoa, this is really affecting my bank account.
Right. We need to get your products paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need to get brave.
Okay. I love it. That's like going to be your phrase now, Elisa. That is it. I'm going to get brave. There you go. I love it. Okay, guys. Elisa, thank you so much for jumping in and asking some hard questions and kind of digging in there. I love that about our team Zooms, and that's what it's here for. I usually always have a plan of stuff to share, but I am always interruptible. So thank you so much for jumping in on that. I love it. All right, guys, let's watch this together. This is something I'm real excited to share with you guys. It is, hold on, I'm trying to think of her name. Goff. Megan Goff, her and her husband are both diamonds. So they're a diamond couple, and they've done their re-entry, and they're both working to become basically a quadruple diamond family. And I love their team. We're a couple of us are in some training with Megan Goff, and it's a phenomenal. So last week they did what they called a VIP event, and they did a meat plexus event. So I wanted to watch this with you guys. It's about 25 minutes, and I wanted to share this. This is something that I'm going to post the link in our chat, and I will send the link to you. This is something you can approach people with and say, hey, last week there was a VIP event and it was phenomenal. And I thought of you immediately. And I just wanted to know if you would be open to the idea of watching the video. No strings attached. I just thought about you. Would you be willing to watch it? And when they say yes, share the video with them. So, and tell them, I always tell people, because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's 25 minutes. I don't have time for that. And I'm like, you know what? Watch it while you fold laundry. Watch it or watch it while you're doing the dishes. Set your phone up on the countertop and watch it while you're doing dishes. So this is an amazing VIP event, and I'm really excited to watch it with you guys. And then I will get you the link, because this is a great place to introduce people to plexus. And that's exactly what it's called. It's called meat plexus. So let me screen share. Screen share here. There we go. All right, here we go.
Off this call tonight. I get the pleasure of sharing this screen with some of my best friends and some of the most amazing women that I have ever met. So if you're like me and you're like, what is this crazy plexus thing? Like, I'm not so sure about that. I was the same way. I'm going to be honest with you guys about what I thought. At the time, about 6 years ago, I had just become a mom, and becoming a mom was one of the greatest blessings, but it was also something that I was very much not prepared for. I genuinely felt like, okay, maybe I won't feel like myself for just like 2 or 3 months, and then I'll just
Hurry up, Grants. You're gonna be late for school.
I have no idea why it just went to a commercial. Sorry.
Dad,
I have to let this play.
40 again?
Okay.
Don't forget your
All right, there
just
we
go
go.
back to feeling like myself. But that was the furthest thing from the truth. My anxiety was horrible. I had no idea at the time, despite being a mental health therapist, that I had postpartum anxiety that I thought would go away, but it didn't. It didn't go away at all, not until plexus entered my life. I had gained more weight after the baby was born than during my entire pregnancy. The scale felt like a runaway train. I was weighing myself every single day, and it was just going up and up. And I was like, something is wrong here. Like, why am I gaining more weight after the baby is born than I did the whole time I was pregnant? And I can remember looking at him, and I would just like put him in the pack and play, and I would just hope and pray that he would be content for a little while so I could take a nap and so that I could rest. Because even when he started sleeping better, I still never felt rested. Never. I was always constantly tired. Like, waking up well rested was just a concept that was lost to me. And so around that same time, my friend started sharing about the connection between gut health and anxiety. And I thought she'd lost her mind. I was working as a mental health therapist. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me there's a gut health and mental health connection? Because that wasn't something I was taught. And so if I'm being completely real, I just thought she was full of it. I was like, what happened to my friend? Why is she sharing this? Like, how did she get brainwashed is honestly what I thought. But I secretly was very curious. So I started doing my own research, right? Because that had been ingrained in me in college, do research and where to go. And so I did, and I was blown away. I had no idea that the majority of your serotonin is produced not in your brain, but in your gut. The majority of your immune system comes from your gut. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why I'm sick all the time. I was constantly sick, infections, sinus infections, all of these things, my digestive issues, my anxiety, my weight gain. It all seemed like random things, right? It all seemed totally unrelated to each other. But in reality, they were all connected by this one thing, and that was gut health. And so out of sheer desperation, I reached out to my friend and I was like, let me know about this stuff. And so she explained to me that there was these 3 products known as the triplex, which was like gibberish to me. I didn't even know what that meant. But she explained that it was a pink drink, a probiotic, and something called BioCleanse, which is basically just a really great magnesium supplement. And she said, you take these 3 things, which was really easy to add to my routine because the pink drink is actually really, really good. I just assumed if it's healthy, it must be gross because that was mostly my experience in life. But it was really, really good and really fruity. And so it was easy to drink. I was like, hey, I can do this. I can drink this. And a couple of pills. And it, oh my gosh, it changed everything. Like, it's so crazy to think how those 3 little pills, because if I'm being real, I tried probiotics from Walmart and they did nothing for me. So then that was when I realized gut health was a thing. So I was like, well, I'll take these probiotics. They did nothing for me because I had no idea that there are certain enzymes in certain blends of probiotics that do totally different things. And not to mention being in a form that once it's in my body can use it. Right. And so that's one of the things that sets us apart from so many other places and companies is that it's in a form that our bodies can use. So it's not just something that we're taking just to make ourselves feel better. It actually does its work inside of our body. And so I started that journey 3 years ago. I ended up losing 40 pounds. I got my anxiety and my mood under control. I stopped being sick all the time. And I fell in love with sharing because ultimately I went into my career as a mental health therapist to help people. And I found this avenue that allowed me to not only take care of people, help people with their health, with what I had been going through, but then also do it at home with my babies. Because I now have a second kiddo since then. And I've got to be home with my kiddos because for a while, my career demanded a lot from me. I missed out on holidays. I spent more of my time with my coworkers than I ever did with my family. And so I get to be that mom that's present, but also still has a purpose, and I get to help people. And so I really, really hope that you stick around and you listen to these stories tonight. I am going to pass it off to Joanna, who is going to share her story with you guys.
Hey, everybody. Oh my goodness. I am just so excited for you all to learn more about this. And I just wanted to take you all down memory lane with me for just a sec. I remember having 18 open credit cards and with balances on them. I remember the trapped feeling that I would get when we would reach the limit of it or be close to reaching the limit of those credit cards. I remember having medical debt from when my daughter had a 34-day stay at the hospital and we didn't have insurance. I remember having my credit card declined at the grocery store. I remember crying so hard when I got $20 cash back at the self-checkout at Walmart to go to the laundromat to wash our laundry because we didn't have a washer and dryer at our house. And I forgot it because, it comes out in that little spot, you're busy, mom life, whatever. And then you walk out and I forgot it. And when I went back in, it was gone. And it was so sad because I couldn't get $20 again until we got paid because there wasn't enough in our account. I remember the negative signs in our bank account twice a month and the overdraft fees that would come as a result. I remember anytime that we had an emergency, it would go on a credit card. And I remember just wanting more for my family. and the one life that we get to live, right? And so I started Plexus, I think like a lot of people do, just wanting to feel good again. I was tired of the constant fatigue. I was tired of the crazy mood swings. I was tired of just never feeling good. And I wanted to be the best wife and mom that I could be. And I wasn't able to because I just felt so bad all the time with my health. And what I didn't realize though, is that God brought this, he brought the answer to my prayers to be able to earn extra from home along with Plexus when I got started. And so my husband, he's Mr. Steady. He's a police officer. He's always earned a paycheck every single week since we've gotten married. And I adore him and his dedication to me and our kiddos. But the thing is, no matter how hard he worked, how many hours, how many shifts he picked up, it wasn't going to be enough to live on while also getting out of debt. And I missed him when he had to work those overtime shifts. So he was, making more in his paycheck so we could make ends meet. And so I remember, there's going to be a lot to remember here, so bear with me. But I remember being so scared as an introvert, like my core personality, introverted, to start a business and to start sharing about it. I was even more scared though to stay in the situation that we were in. And so I remember forcing myself to get social media. Yeah, I was married, I had a baby, and I didn't have social media at the time. But I knew it would be a great tool to use just to help my friends and family learn more about this and get healthier with me. 99% of my business has been built through social media. I remember being horrible at doing this business, but I also remember that I was super coachable and I was willing to learn the skills that I needed, because that's really all that it takes. All that this is, it's just a set of skills that can be learned to be as successful as you want to be. And also I remember, like, if others can do this, then why not me? So I also remember when my husband told me that I would never be successful at this, which, bless his heart, he has since been very sorry. He has said that. And I also remember the friends and family that were not so nice to me about the fact that I decided to partner with Plexus and do social selling. But I knew this was an answer that God had brought, an answer to prayer. God gave me Plexus as a shovel to help dig us out of the financial stress that we were under. And I was willing to work hard and do that. So 3.5 years into my Plexus journey, we were able to make a dream move for our family that we could not have without the income with Plexus, for a better job for my husband, a place that we wanted to raise our kiddos, and just a place that we love to live at. And we have since paid off all of our credit card debt, our medical debt, and we've dug our credit scores out of the trash because we missed a lot of payments in that time, you guys, which is really bad for your credit scores. But we were able to dig those out of the trash, and we just were able to buy our first home this past year, which has been such a gift. And then icing on the cake, this past April, it was our anniversary, and my husband and I were on an anniversary trip, and on a whim, we just decided to buy him his dream truck. Like, what? That's crazy. And we've always, usually when it's tax season, we get our tax return. That's when we would go and pay cash to get whatever vehicle we could afford if we needed a vehicle. And we were grateful to have something that got us from point A to point B, but it was never anything that was like on a wish list. So that was just really, really fun. And so, friends, I'm really just overwhelmed at the blessings of this opportunity and how it's completely changed things for not just my family, but thousands of friends and family on our team. And the fact that my husband, he doesn't have to take overtime shifts anymore is such a gift, because we have that time with him. And that is one of my absolute favorite parts, is the time of freedom. And that we can take spontaneous trips as a family. Like, we can just, we want to go for a weekend, go somewhere. That would have never been possible without Plexus. So I was cleaning the house the other day, and mom life, all the things. And I looked out our back window, and I just stopped for a second, just so overwhelmed with God's goodness and favor on our life, because I was living the prayers that I had prayed for years, which was owning our own home and having a yard for my kiddos to play in. And so as I looked out that window, I was just so grateful that I had stuck with this and was encouraged that I took this I took this chance with Plexus and decided to make a difference for my family. And I mean, most of it has all been fitting it into the nooks and crannies of our life. You can't tell, but I'm actually wearing pajama shorts and slippers because I'm at home. I get to work from home. I can do that if I want to. And it's awesome, the flexibility of it, fitting it in when my kiddos are sleeping or when they're watching a movie or whatever. I can fit it into the nooks and crannies, which is pretty incredible to earn a 5-figure income a month from your phone as a stay-at-home mom. I don't have a college degree, no specific skill set, but I love people and I love helping people to find freedom in health and financial areas of their life. And so this opportunity is truly none that I've seen. Plexus loves to spoil us and they make us feel seen and feel loved. And so I'm just excited for you guys to experience it for yourself. So with all that being said, thanks for listening. You now get to hear from one of my very best friends, Emily Burgess, who I would never have met without Plexus. And so I cannot wait for you to hear her beautiful story.
So I just want to pause it for just a second because I want to reiterate what she said. She said 5 figures a month. So she's making over 10 grand. I don't know where that lies but she's making over 10 grand a month. And you heard her. She had no money. She had no social media. So she had she didn't even have a network.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And she built this because she got brave. And so Elisa's statement is now going to be like my bulletin board, get brave. And I just love it. So to keep all of this in mind, these are real people and real stories, and they simply took a hold of their lives and made a decision. They drew a line in the sand. And I've had people, it's just so exciting. Okay.
You know, Iris, there's actually a song that kind of goes along with that phrase. It's Sarah Bareilles, and it's I Want to See You Be Brave. Have you heard that song before?
Oh my goodness. I think I've heard bits and pieces. I don't think I've heard the whole thing.
Oh, it's an amazing song.
I'll go look it up after this. Yay. Okay. Let's jump back in. I'm going to push play.
Okay.
Hi, you guys. I'm Emily. Joanna, your story since 2017, since I met you, has given me chills. I mean, did you guys hear that? 18 open credit cards, and now they're totally debt-free. I mean, that's just beautiful. That makes anybody emotional and want to cry and so thankful. So I live in Boise, Idaho, and I just want to clear the air here. If any of you guys are just dying over this, if any of you guys saw that invitation graphic that was sent to you to come and be a part of today. So I just have to highlight something here. So you've got people, the 4 ladies here, we all gave our biographies. Joanna wrote out that her husband's a police officer and she's a mom of 3. Tiffany wrote out that she's a mental health therapist and passionate about her family. And then you have Sally, who talked about how she's very passionate about missions and awaken life and empowering women. And my biography was that I love bargains and cheese dip. I just thought it was so funny, and I just wanted to clear the air that is who I am. That is me. About 9 or 10 years ago, my husband and I, 10 years ago in December, my husband and I had just gotten married. When we got married, we had invited 1,000 people to come to our wedding. We had 15 bridesmaids, 15 groomsmen. I share all that to show we had a huge community. We were very blessed with our community of people in our lives. Well, then we got married, we got pregnant, and we moved to Colorado, where we knew no one. We had no family, we had no community, we had no church that we were connected with. I was huge and pregnant, uncomfortable, high-risk pregnancy. And I remember crying to my husband at about 8 months pregnant, saying, I just want somebody, I kid you not, I just want somebody that I can go have chips and queso with, because I missed community so deeply. We moved to Boise, Idaho after that. That's where I'm from. But even though that's where I'm from, I don't know about you guys, but as a mom, who's kind of coming back in like a transplant and sent into somewhere, it's hard to get connected. It's hard to grow in deep relationships. And so with Plexus, I was super against it, to be totally honest. A girlfriend of mine, I didn't even ask her to send me samples. She sent me samples of the pink drink and I threw them in the trash because I didn't understand it. I had seen so many of my friends losing weight with the product. So I just assumed that it was some sort of like weight loss, bad diet that was going to hurt me in the future. And I didn't want that. However, every single Sunday morning, I would cry in my closet because my body was not how I was used to it after having babies. I didn't feel confident in my own skin. My clothes were not fitting me. We were not in a position financially to where we could go and afford other clothes. It was a really hard season for me. I know that probably sounds silly, but I was struggling with that. I was struggling with fatigue, with restless sleep, even though I was so tired during the day. I was struggling with crazy sugar cravings, digestion, lots of gas and bloating, all of the things that I thought were super, super normal. But again, I was extremely against doing Plexus because I didn't understand it. But for 4.5 years, I just kind of watched. I didn't intentionally watch, but I would just see my friends sharing about the products, and I would see them sharing about how they were natural and they were plant-based and that they were really focusing on the key pillars of your health, with gut health and inflammation and nutrient absorption and all of those things. And so when it came time for me to go ahead and try them, I was super, super scared. But I also knew that they were going to work. I knew that they were going to change my health, which they did. I lost about 20 pounds, did not have the crazy sugar cravings that I once had. Deep sleep every single night. My husband no longer has sinus infections. My mom, who used to be an insomniac terribly for 30 years, is now sleeping through the night. So I knew that the products were going to help me. I also knew that the financial aspect of the opportunity, just like Joanna talked about, I knew that that was going to change things for our family because I caught that vision. I caught that belief. I knew that there were people out there that needed these products just as much as I did. So I knew the financial part was going to change my family, but I did not expect the community. Like I really didn't. But here's the deal. When I started sharing, I had so many people that just came to me out of the woodwork, sharing with me deep things that they were struggling with. And I don't think that there is a way that you can have a conversation with somebody about their digestive system or their mental health or the struggles that they're having in their health without growing deeper in relationship. And here's the thing, I value friendships. I value relationships so very much, which was a reason I was hesitant to do network marketing, because I never wanted anybody to feel like, you know, I was just trying to sell them on something or steer clear whenever I came into the room. I was very afraid of that. But the relationship aspect of this has been beautiful. The community aspect of this has been beautiful because you can love people so deeply. That's actually the type of person who does so well here. People who love people deeply and who care about helping other people. And so with that, we now have, I would say, I probably have about 70 women that I speak to on a daily basis, just like in a big group. So going from crying at 8 months pregnant because I needed somebody to go have chips and queso with, and I felt so lonely, to now being in a community of women who are praying for one another, who are supporting one another, encouraging one another. We have people, like we had a family, or I say a family member, she is part of our family, our Plexus family. Her son had to go to the emergency room last year. And in 24 hours, our little team was able to bless her with $800. In 24 hours, we're able to help people with baby showers and meal trains and adoption assistance. We have a very close friend whose mother passed away in January, and the group of women that flew to go and support her and be there all together with her was phenomenal. And so I share that with you because if you are looking for health changes, if you are looking for financial opportunities, or if you are looking for community, this has been a place that has blessed my soul more than anything I've ever been a part of. And so I'm very, very grateful for all of my team that's here right now. You guys have changed me. You've changed my heart. Okay, I'm going to pass it off to Sally.
Hey guys, my name is Sally Lewis and I live in Georgia down here. But I could absolutely just tell you that I 100% agree and affirm everything that these ladies have spoken about tonight. And I hope I don't double up on a lot of it, but so many of our stories, while they're so different, they intersect in a lot of ways. And that's because our basic needs and the things that we care about and worry about and are dealing with as humans are so similar and they're so connected. And so I hope that you've been able to draw bits and pieces out of the stories that have been shared so far. And I do want to share a little bit about mine. Whatever has brought you here tonight, for me, I probably just like you saw someone post on Facebook about plexus and I thought, what is this stuff, right? Like, what is it? And is it something that could actually help me? And I was looking at a couple of different people posting different things. And the thing that stood out for me from the very beginning about plexus is that it seemed to be others-centered and it seemed to be actually helping people with things other than just looking good in a bikini. Because I had a 15-month-old, we just moved back from the overseas mission field. We lived in Zambia for 2.5 years and I just didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel loved or lovable. And I didn't feel like I was really living into who I know God had created me to be. And so honestly, like, do I want to look good in a bathing suit? Sure, why not? But that's not what I cared about at that moment. I cared about not waking up and wanting to go straight back to sleep. I cared about not laying on the couch and watching my little girl play and wanting to actually be a part of my family and be a part of my life again. And I knew that God had given us that ability and that heart and desire for that. And I was like, okay, so what's not happening here? What am I not cooperating, somehow to align myself with that? And what I found was something so much more than more energy and losing baby weight. It was a total overhaul of my health, but also helping me step into who God had called me to be. Yes, as a wife and a mom, but also as a friend and as a leader and someone who cares to help other people. Because I'm an introvert and it's real easy when I don't feel good to stay inside my house and really not care about what other people are going through. But guess what? The Lord did not call us to sit on the couch and just be comfortable and just take care of ourselves, right? We are here to love and to serve others. And this has been an avenue for our family to do that, to have strangers from all over the country see a post or see a comment on Facebook about supplements and be grafted into, like Emily said, this beautiful community. But what it really is God using me as a vessel and can use you as a vessel to meet the needs and answer prayers of people that you may not even know. And so this for me has been multi-beneficial. Our family is a ministry family. We lived overseas. We literally lived off of the support of people who had a little bit extra, right? And so many of us live without having any extra and maybe even less than we have. We need to pay the bills. And so coming from a family where I know how grateful people are to have people have abundance. Do I need more than enough for myself? No, I've lived in a tent. I don't need much, right? I'm thankful for what we have. But out of our abundance and out of the things that we're willing to step into, we get to then bless other people through that, whether that's financially or giving them a second shot at quality of life, getting them up off the floor. I could just cry right now. One of my friends who I knew from preschool, y'all, we hadn't even talked in forever. Who knew that she was dealing so silently with something that she could not even pick herself up off the floor for hours every afternoon to play with her children and would just fall asleep on the floor. Y'all, we are able to give people their lives back. And so as much as we want this for you, you're here, you may have needs in your life, in your health and in your finances, but also this great purpose that you are someone special enough that God will use you to connect with someone else who might need help getting picked up off their feet, who might need a little bit extra at the end of the month. And maybe that's you. And maybe that God is going to use you to bring this into someone else's life too. So I want to encourage you with everything that you've heard tonight, do not walk away without some sense of purpose of how this can bless and benefit you and your family. And do not think yourself too small that you could not be used in just the same ways that you have heard these ladies here tonight. We all, the 4 of us who are speaking tonight, have thousands of people on our team. And guess what? We didn't talk to most of them, okay? This is a beautiful community and a network in this thing where we are connected and grafted together by simple relationships and conversations, and we are all capable of doing that. You do not have to be an amazing public speaker. You do not have to be a social media guru to love and serve somebody well and connect them with something that can meet their needs. So you guys, I know that I could talk for a million more minutes, and I'm usually not the short-winded person in the group, but I just don't feel like I need to harp on too much more, because what has been shared is truly just the beauty of what our company stands for. And yes, are there other network marketing companies out there? Sure. But I'll tell you, I've seen a lot and I have heard a lot of stories, and there is no place that I would rather be, no company that I'm more proud to be a part of, and no purpose and mission that I am grateful to participate in as a family who has been in ministry and who I truly do care in a positive way what others see of me, not just because I care what they think, but because I feel like I'm a witness to our Lord on this earth. But I am proud to be a Plexus ambassador, and I love this company and I love the people that represent it. And I'm thankful that you are here with your eyeballs on this screen tonight and your ears hearing what was spoken. So I encourage you to get with whoever invited you to this event or whoever shared this recording with you, and just dream a little bit. What could this do for you? What could this do for your family? What are some teeny tiny goals that and dreams that have been in your heart, or who you feel like God has created you to be? And you know what? It doesn't matter how old you are. You're not done yet. God's not done using you. He's not done using your connections and your relationships to reach other people. And he is not done bringing joy into your life either. So I encourage you to just have the conversations and see where this takes you, because it may be the thing that's missing in your life that can bring all of these wonderful things we've talked about together. So thank you guys so much for being here with us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope you had fun meeting Plexus through us.
I love it. Let me stop screen sharing really quick. Such a great event that they did. They did 3 of these. All of them are similar, but led by different people. So there's some different stories in there. So I will share this one with you guys in our chat, and I can share all 3 links so that you can share them with others. And it's just a perfect little, window in to what Plexus is all about. And those 3 things that she talked about, Plexus is here for your health changes. Plexus is here to offer you community connection. And Plexus is here for financial support or even financial freedom. So those 3 things are huge in people's lives. And it does offer community. And you have to be intentional, but the community is right here. And you can plug in and have this amazing community and support and love. So guys, thank you so much for jumping in on our team Zoom. This is what it's all about, where we can come in and we can talk about issues and we can get questions answered and we can kind of work through stuff together. You guys know how to get a hold of me. I'm so thankful for each one of you. And if you are watching the recording, thank you so much for taking the time to connect with us. Don't forget, you can ask questions in the comments below after I post this, or you can message me personally. I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday evening, and I will see you next time.
Thank you, Iris.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brandon.